All right. Good evening once again. You are welcome to Digital Zeal Hub. So as we can see, this is cyber security section. And being the very first class, we shall be looking at the introduction proper. And then I will also show us some of the scheme or the course outline for the training. So I think we should quickly take note of the training scheme so that we can know what we should be expecting from the training. So I would like us to get our writing materials and also jot down important points, because you might not get the video immediately. So just make sure that you jot down key points, particularly the course outline on the screen. I'd like you, if possible, you take note of it while I'm taking us through it. So the course content for the training, we shall start with importance of cyber security, under which we will look at the history of data breaches. We will look at scenarios for security. We'll look at understanding the attack surface as cybersecurity experts. We'll also look at security evolution from legacy to advanced, and that to machine learning and AI. So under which we shall be looking at legacy cybersecurity system. We'll look at transformation in cybersecurity. We will look at advancements in cybersecurity or in security technology to security 2.0. Then under that same security evolution, we look at how machine learning and artificial intelligence will play a larger role in cybersecurity. They will also talk about learning cybersecurity technologies, under which we look at mobile security, advanced data security, modern day regulations, incident response, and forensics. We look at enterprise security at scale. We look at penetration testing. That is what we know today as ethical hacking. So the right word for describing that art is penetration testing. So either you use the word penetration testing or you use the word ethical hacking. They mean the same thing. We look at DevSecOps. We look at IoT security. We look at user behavior analysis, UBA. We also look at endpoint detection and response, EDR. All of these are under learning cybersecurity technology. In other words, from here down to this, talks about cybersecurity technologies. Then the next topic will be skills we need for a cybersecurity career. So for us to build a career in cybersecurity, there are certain skills that we need to have. So the first one is we need to know what is general security rules. Choosing skills to pick up based on current professional experience and skills. Then the next topic shall be attacker mindsets. So look at the mindset of the attacker. Remember that we are trained for defensive purpose. We are not going to be trained for offensive. Everything we are going to learn in this course, they are only for knowledge base. So Digitech in any form does not advocate any form of art that contradicts the whole essence of the program. So we just have to know that we are learning this for defensive purpose because cybersecurity has two faces. There are a lot of individuals that are there just to for offensive. They are the one that engages themselves in what we call unethical hacking. But why we are learning ethical hacking, which I said it is also known as penetration testing. Now, which means that your role as a cyber security expert or an ethical hacker in an organization is to examine their system for vulnerability, is for you to check their system security strength and be able to, counsel them to take proactive measure or to put certain system in place that can make the system hard for the intruders. So under the attacker mindset, we shall be looking at the category of hackers. So we are going to know different types of hacker and what they do. We are going to look at the traits of hackers. What are their characteristics? What are their body languages? So when you see unethical hacker or hacker generally, whether for good or bad, they have this curiosity, particularly the bad hacker, which we also refer to as the black hat hackers. They have certain behavior that when you see them, you will know that. So we're going to look at all that so that when you are engaged tomorrow, when you are employed tomorrow as a cybersecurity expert, you'll be able to discern them, be able to know, be able to put measures in place. Once they come around you through their activities, you will know. Then we are going to also discuss what we call social characteristics of hackers. Social characteristics of hackers. Like they say, the best security is awareness. The reason why so many people are victims of different attacks today because they are not aware of the social characteristics of these hackers. There are many ways they operate, all in the name of social or socialization. But they have their own intent, they have their own intentions on how to capture sensitive information that could aid their bad act. So we're going to expose all of that so that by tomorrow you are employed, you'll be able to know how to guide the individual or the organization you are working with. Now, we are also going to look at how hackers think. What is their motivators? We are going to learn all that. So we need to know, as ethical trained hackers, we need to understand what actually motivates them. Because when you understand that, you will now be able to discourage them. That is just the truth. The next one is we're still under attackers mindset. We'll also talk about what can be learned from the psychology of hackers. So there are a lot of things we can learn from the way they think. So we'll look at all of that. The next topic we shall be discussing will be understanding reactive, proactive, and operational security. Reactive, proactive, and operational security. So that will be a topic. So under this, we'll look at proactive security defense. Then we'll also look at reactive security. And then we look at overview of operational security. And then we'll also look at the significances of the three security pillars. So we're going to look at what are the three pillars. What are the three pillars that sustain any form of security, being it cyberspace security or even the physical security? Because sometimes the physical, practitioner, I'm talking about the policing system of community and even society, sometimes we use familiar terms, and most time we have almost the same reasoning pattern. A security man is a security man. Someone who is a security man is always security conscious, right? So we have some common ground. Now, we'll also look at digital forensics and real-time incidents. Respond with what? SAM. So all this, when we get there, we'll look at their full meaning, and then we'll look at how to set them up. They are very important. We'll also look at another topic, which is networking, mentoring, and shadowing. So under which we'll look at the three of them, just as mentioned. Look at mentoring, we'll look at networking, we'll look at shadowing. Then we'll also look at cyber security lab. So this is where we are going to learn how to set up an ethical lab, a virtual lab that can enable us to network different virtual machines for us to perform or practice penetration testing. So just to summarize, what I have on this side, they are like recommended certification that you can write. These are like online platform that can certify you after being trained. Once you enroll, you want to get a professional certification from them if you wish. So I just decided to expose us to some of them. So all these are bodies, just like the way we have Korea for engineering, that's civil engineering and other engineering sector or departments. So these are some platforms you can obtain or some certifications like CompTIA A Pen Test, CompTIA A Security Analyst, and then EC Council Certificate or Certified Ethical Hacker. All these are bodies you can obtain professional certification from if you wish. All right, so having laid that foundation or having given us the scheme of our training, then we can now dive in properly. But let me just say this. What I give to audience just like a summary of what we are expecting to learn. There are branches under each of those topics that we shall be considering. All right, so now that we understand that, we are going to start with what is cybersecurity? What is cybersecurity? That's the first thing we should understand. What is cybersecurity? So I will start by asking you, sir, before now, what has been your understanding about cybersecurity? When you hear cybersecurity, what comes to your mind? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm
That's
asking,
very
okay.
okay.
So I was asking you a question. I don't know if you heard what I said. I said before now, what comes to
Okay.
it before now, how do you
Like,
understand?
okay.
Okay, the network is breaking. Okay, go ahead. Let me see if I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes.
Were you saying something
Okay.
before? Okay.
In my own little understanding, I'm talking now. In my own little understanding about cybersecurity, I think anything cybersecurity is like in form of a cyber protection,
Okay.
protecting company from uh, from scammers,
Okay.
not to attack their system.
Yeah.
And with my understanding, I believe most scammers normally target a lot of companies and
Okay.
scamming. Like if you, for instance, now, like platform like all these Bybit, Binance. So like if you enter those platforms, you want to do any monetary transaction there's in form of some cyber security, there's form of some security check that will alert you, give you a security like, please do not release money to a vendor if you have not confirmed your payment from the vendor in your own personal account. Try and log in to your account and confirm before you release any payment. So sometimes there are some security messages that normally come like, please confirm the name of that vendor.
Right.
If the name tally, the name on the profile tally with the name of the account, you receive money. You receive money from the vendor.
All
So,
right.
with my own little understanding, I think that is the work of a cyber security,
All right.
trying to
So,
protect the system
yeah, you.
from scammers.
All right. So, you have spoken well. I just wanted to know what your understanding concerning this program is for now. Yeah, now we will break it into two: cyber and security. Cyber and security. The word cyber means online, the online space. We have what we call the cyberspace, and then the cyberspace is what constitutes the entire internet, the online activities that we all know today. Now, like when we did that first training, you will notice that our emphasis was more on awareness on cybersecurity. But this training is not focusing on that because it was a marathon training, so we have to just try to build interest on individuals that attended the training. But this is a master class, which means it's a complete class. So at the end of the training, you will be certified on what we call CompTIA A+. That CompTIA A+ it constitutes the Microsoft Windows security. The Microsoft Windows security. So this training is divided into two phases. The first phase is where we shall be dealing with or trying to understand the Windows security. It's part of our responsibility as cybersecurity expert to ensure that the Microsoft Windows that we run on system are secure. It is our responsibility to know how to exploit all the security features embedded in your Microsoft window. There are a lot of security features, including what we know today as an antivirus. But the reason why some of us only focus on antivirus because we do not understand the Windows security structure. But when you understand the Windows security structure and you are a trained person like you are attending this training now, you will notice that you may not need to get or spend money on antivirus if it is your personal system. So even if you are working for an organization, you will now be able to use the knowledge you are going to learn from this class to be able to what? To make the system hard for the bad hacker to break into. Like I said before, that is going to be your primary assignment. Now, coming back to the question and ask that what is cybersecurity? Now, I've explained what the cyberspace is all about, right? So we can say the art of protecting the cyber world space. And if you are going to protect the cyberspace, then we need to look at the components, what the cyberspace is made up of. What are the activities that happen? What are the transactions that take place within the cyberspace? So one of the reasons why cybersecurity experts are needed all over the world, because for some time, data has shown that there is high rise of cyber threat because now we have a lot of transaction on the internet. So let's look at the definition properly. Since this is a master class, we are going to be taking it slow and steady. Now, what is cyber security? Cyber security, the whole of cyber security or the whole of security can be enveloped in three keywords, which we are going to discover in this definition. Cybersecurity refers to the collective method, so which means that it involves, leveraging on technologies to protect the internet world space from different types of attack that could happen. Cybersecurity refers to the collective method, technologies, and processes designed to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of computer systems, networks, and data from cyber attacks or unauthorized access. So you can see, as simple as the definition has spelled out the key aspects that are involved, which can also stand or serve as the pillar. You cannot talk about any form of security without confidentiality. You can't talk about any form of security without talking about integrity. And at the same time, you cannot talk about security without understanding availability of systems. So what we are saying is that we have to pick them one after the other. For a system to be trusted, there have to be some level of confidence. And for you to have that level of confidence on the system, there has to be some level of integrity. And then availability is like making the system porous. That is what you shouldn't make it porous for the attacker. You shouldn't make it, vulnerable to the hackers. So you should try as much as possible to make sure that they do not access it. They do not, because it is when you make it available, just like you leave your door open. So indirectly, you are inviting intruders. So that is what we are saying. So if you keep what you have in your space secure, then you will now be able to avoid that availability that we are talking about. So just to explain it further, we can look at it from this simple perspective. So we can say, think of it like protecting your home from intruders, just as you lock your doors and windows. So cybersecurity measures safeguard your digital assets from malicious actors. This include protecting against various types of threats, such as malware, ransomware, phishing, and denial of service attack. So you can say, to take it from the first paragraph, look at the simple analogy here. Very simple. So you can think of cybersecurity as the way you lock your door. So which means that tomorrow a company is going to engage you so that you help them to what? To make sure that the black hat hacker do not have access, to make sure that you harden the system such that an intruder cannot come in, to make sure that all the data, all their sensitive information are not compromised, to make sure that their systems are not what? Are broken into by the what? The black hat hackers. So all these are going to be your responsibility. And above all, one of your major responsibility will be that you always, outsmart the bad guys or the black hat hackers and be able to what? To give them information before time, right? So, but why are they going to believe you? Because one, that is why you are trained. Like I said, this whole training is geared towards informing you and educating you on different technologies that can be used to prevent cyber attacks. So once you have gone through the training from the beginning to the end, it means that you are aware, number one, the way the black hat hackers or the intruders operate. And because you are aware, you'll be able to work to put proactive or preventive measures in place. That is the whole essence of you learning this. So you are not trained to go and break into people's system. You are not trained for you to access, people domain unauthorized. So the company that will engage you will actually give you permission to examine their website to know whether the website can be prone to what? Cyber what? Attack. So if, for example, you try to perform penetration testing on their website just because they have important information in their web, and you are able to succeed without getting the login detail from the admin, then it now raises a concern that the website is not secured. So you now quickly alert them. And as we continue, you get to learn different career. There are some individuals that are good at what? Responding to incidents as soon as there is what? Cyber attack. While there are other ones that are good at analyzing threats to be able to inform the organization ahead. You are a whole lot of, so you are not learning this for you to know all, for example, or for you to function as all aspect of it. So as we are taking you through the training, at the end of the day, you will know where your strength is. You will know the aspects of a career you want to develop in cyber security. So just to explain some of the key terms here. Just to explain some of the key terms here. I mentioned this include protecting against various types of threats. So just to mention some of the threats, we have malware, we have ransomware, we have phishing, we have all these ones that I'm mentioning. They are ways, they are social way of the intruder, the cyber world attackers. They are like the techniques. So the manual is just like they develop, because sometimes they work alongside with programmers, core programmers, to deliberately create a software that can stand as an exploit. Any software that somebody can inject, either through when you are downloading or through any means into your system as a spy, that could offer them or deliver your entire system security to them. We refer to that as malware, suspicious activity, suspicious softwares. And sometimes when you are scanning with your antivirus, you notice that, or when you are trying to download certain things from the internet, you see your antivirus notifying you that there is a suspected information, or there is a suspected act that you need to what? Most time, based on how you must have programmed your operating system in a way that the firewall, which we are going to discuss, which is in charge of monitoring incoming and outgoing transaction, we block it even before you get to know, and register it that so time such file or attack was trying to gain access, and I stop it. So there are a whole lot of things you need to know as an expert for you to be able to work as a cybersecurity expert for organization. So ransomware is a kind of branch of cybersecurity where you see individual that will deliberately kidnap people's sensitive file for financial gain. So what they do, a lot of bad boys make a lot of money from all these things. So like I said, we are informing you so that when you know all this, you'll be able to tell the organization you are working with to put certain things in place, because now you know that somebody can hijack their file. So that information you are going to give to them, we enable them to make sure that, one, they use very strong password. Two, they apply advanced security technology like facial recognition. We have hello world. So there are a lot of new introduced security features that can contain some of these things. So, but when your window is vulnerable, that is, when your window is not properly secured, they can take advantage of that to extract your important information and lock them, that is, to encrypt them. And then when you want to open them, they ask for a key. And then by the time you research on Google how to unlock this file, you will come across their content. And the next thing they will ask for is that you pay them a certain amount of money before they can release it. They are called ransomware. So that is what we know today as kidnapping. People kidnapping people just for money purpose, not that they really want to kill. So we have people like that. The phishing is an art, is one of the ways of the bad guys that we need to be aware of. You see, that is why you are advised, anybody that operates on the internet should be aware that the bad guys can send a corrupt link or a bad link to you. Maybe somebody can come up and say, okay, he's offering free training. Meanwhile, the intention is just to get the IP address, or just to establish certain transaction that could, allow the malware to drop in the system as a spy that will be sending to them all the necessary information they need to break into that system. So the general public need to be aware. And you yourself as a student, when you are aware of all this, you will not be able to advise your company that they should be aware of the way they click on links. Any link that is sent to you should be verified. A lot of things happen on the internet. One of the highest threats on the internet is security. That is what? Trust. Trust. A lot of things are happening. Even this training that you are attending now, when we advertise for it, there are a lot of persons that are there that will have subscribed. But it's the issue of trust. Issue of trust. Somebody could be somewhere calculating what is the guarantee that if I send them the money, they will not disappear because of what has happened in the past. So you can see that people can be taken advantage of on the internet because you can easily locate people what destination. And that is the reason why today we have this course, cybersecurity, to equip individuals to be ready to protect the internet. And there is no way that there will not be space for every one of us because the internet is the largest database. So there is no time that there can be short of manpower, or there is no time that the internet, for example, now will be what? Yeah, there will always be time for what? Short of manpower. But there's no time that the internet, in terms of securing it, will be saturated. I'm talking about maybe at a point they have employed certain number of persons and there's no room for order. No, there is always space for everybody because it's a very large database. Now, let's quickly look at some effective cyber security involves, or layers rather. Now, here we want to talk about for you to be able to secure system properly, or different, platform that you should be thinking of protecting or overseeing as a cybersecurity expert. They are what we want to look at. So a company can engage you tomorrow. And maybe based on their activity, you are going to be protecting their network. You are going to be securing their network. Maybe most of their activities are based on the internet. Maybe they have their data, maybe in the cloud, or everything they do, everything connect to what? Network. So the priority as the reason why you'll be employed will be based on what? Networking. So we need to know that as cybersecurity experts, there are different layers that we need to ensure their security. And like I said, this is defensive security. This is not offensive security. So the first one is network security, which means protecting the network and infrastructure from unauthorized access and disruption. So that is, a layer that your service might be required on. Then the next one is application security. Don't be surprised, a company can engage you and assign you to ensure that a particular app is secure. For example, the app banks are using to hold or to store our money. I want to believe that every bank must prioritize what? The security of that app. Because if someone is able to gain access to that app, just imagine the level of damage that can occur. That's going to be massive because somebody can enter the app or gain access to the app and change 500 naira to what? 5 million and save it back. And the next day, the person can walk into the bank and withdraw it. But where the bank will get to know is their balance sheet. When the physical cash is not equal to what the system is saying, they will know that something has happened. So I just use that as an example to let you know that there are apps. Cybersecurity also involve what? Protection of what? Apps. There are a lot of apps. Even those apps that you run on your system, Microsoft Office, CorelDRAW, the moment they are installed in your computer, there are Windows security features like we are going to, the first phase we are going to learn, that ensure that those apps are protected. As far as Windows is concerned, there are allocated security features to ensure that every app that you installed in it is what? Protected. So another level of effective cybersecurity is data security, ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of sensitive data. So a company can also engage you and assign to you the role of ensuring that all their data are secured. So in that case, like we are going to learn, we are going to look at different technology that we can use to secure the company what data. We are going to learn passwording, which is one of the traditional way of securing data. We are going to look at BitLocker. There are so many technology that have been invented that can actually what? Take care of data protection. Talking about the advance. Then cybersecurity layer also involve identity management. This one is very important. Managing users' identity and access to system and data. So the what we call what? Governance, risk, compliance is an aspect of cybersecurity that focuses on developing security policies, either for organization that they can adhere to ensure that their system are secured. So that one does not require technical skill. Now, that aspect is recommended for those that would like to become consultants. And for you to be a cybersecurity consultant, it means you must have worked with, a reputable organization where you have also gotten the field experience. Because most of these things that we are talking about does not end at the training level. For example, now, if you work in the bank has some infrastructure, hardware in place that supports the software security that makes the whole system very secure. So if somebody break into the software, the hardware will detect it. Or somebody break into the hardware, the software will detect it. So like bank and all these big company, they have what it takes to set up a standard security system. That is why most attack that happen does not really happen to the big companies. Like you were saying the other time, it doesn't affect the big company. They have money. Number one, they have money to pay the service of what? An expert like you and I. They have money to buy all the necessary equipment to ensure that their systems are protected, are secured. It's all these average small scale business people that are managing small millions of naira that feels that they cannot pay an expert 1 million in a month, for example. So in that case, they know the essence of our role, but because of fund limitation, and some of them will just commonize it, not that they don't have what it is. They will just overlook at it, just like the way some of us today, we browse on the internet, we do all manner of things without that consciousness that somebody can hack us on Facebook, somebody can hack us on WhatsApp. There are a lot of persons. Today now, most of this system has introduced what we call what? Two multiple what? Factor as a way of tightening the security of this platform based on some of the attacks that has happened in the past. But there are a lot of persons that are using WhatsApp today that have not activated it. So they are just at the mercy of this bad guy, because what they do is that they will just be scanning. We will get to a topic where we'll discuss what we call reconnaissance. And after that topic, you will almost be afraid of what you do on the internet. Because some of us, we think that because nobody have access to your system, nobody can synchronize information from it. When we get to that topic, you understand that there are passive ways people get information about your system. But that depends on how you structure your security. Because one, somebody can use a logic, a passive way of gathering information from my system without even knowing where the computer is, without having, knowledge of the system. But he can get the IP address so long the system is on the internet. Just like as we are using our computer now. There is a public IP address that will have been generated. But we are going to expose all this, how the bad guys will mask themselves, how they will remain anonymous before they start launching this attack. So we are going to expose their ways, because that is what you are meant to learn. You are to mimic their way. You are to understand their ways. Because every company that will engage you will not want to tolerate attack before you put measure in place. They will prefer that, okay, you understand, before they move, you are already ahead of them, not wait attack. In fact, in some cases, if you allow attack to happen before you take some proactive steps, they will sack you. In fact, you become the threat. Yes, it can happen. If attacks are happening in the company that you are working as a cybersecurity expert, at a point, they will analyze your performance and they will now begin to think that is an insider attack. Because most attack, you see any big company that is hacked, someone inside must have linked what? Some information. So these are some of the layer. Then we also have mobile security layer, protecting mobile devices and data from what threat. Some of us are holding our phones. You don't know that you can set up serious security policies on your phone. And most of the phone that most of us are carrying, they are powerful phones that are built with this technology to be able to activate those security features. Even the so-called app, like your OPay, like your Money Point. Why do you think that today is rampant everywhere? People are stealing phone. Do you think it's money they need? People are stealing phone because they have studied the society and they have noticed that there are a lot of persons that they don't have the patience to what? To log each time they are logging into their app, they enter the password. So they will go to the security setting and turn off that what? That regular what? Demanding for the password. So as soon as they open their app, they are already in the transfer what? Interface. So one of the reasons why you see phone thefts, rampant, because they have discovered that is another way of what? Breaking into people what? System account and withdrawing and transferring money and all of that. So we need to also ensure that what? Mobile security is part of the layer that we have to understand as an expert. Now, cloud security, of course, so many banks today, if you enter a bank now, you hardly see a bank that will store their details on their local machine. Almost all the banks have now integrated their data in the cloud, because the cloud is more secured. The cloud is more secured. There are a lot of strong security measures there compared to your local machine. We cannot have issue of outdated drivers in the cloud when the cloud is 24-hour on the internet. But your local machine, you might not connect to the internet 24-hour. And as a result of that, there might be some window patches that will have what? Outdated. And because you failed to update on time, that must have given room to some what? Malware or some suspicious, activities on that system that will have compromised the integrity of that system, which is part of what we are expected to work against. All right, so let's quickly discuss. Let me get a response if you are following.
I'm with you.
All right, so let's discuss some of the importance of cybersecurity. And this will actually expose to us why we are very much needed in the society. Because, there are some persons that still believe, no matter how you convince them from now to tomorrow, they have not really seen any need for them to come into this department. And meanwhile, this is one of the top trending tech domain. Because of that hacking, some persons, once they hear the hacking, what comes to their mind is the bad activity. And until they go through the training or somebody is able to educate them, they will not know that the security of the internet is the business of everyone. Everyone, so long you manage, you transact, you do anything on the internet space, every one of us supposed to be at least be aware of the phishing techniques of these guys. So cybersecurity is crucial for individuals, businesses, and organizations to prevent financial losses, reputational damage, and legal liabilities. Some of us will never understand it until certain things happen. If you have seen someone whose WhatsApp probably was hacked or Facebook account was hacked, and just imagine that person spending 10 years building that Facebook. Imagine the level of trust the person must have built on the followers, and all of a sudden, the person will no longer have access to that account. Just imagine how devastating that could be. Because sometimes, until you picture all this, you will not understand that the business of securing the internet space is a business for all. Because some of this attack does not happen to you, you feel that it does not concern me. It's just like how somebody will just overlook at people around him and then decide to leave his or her door to walk to the next 2 streets, thinking that nobody could enter his room. What little they did not know is that somebody might be observing them. We call that eavesdropping in this field. Eavesdropping. Somebody can be monitoring you for months without you knowing, looking for that loophole. And the person must have understood the pattern. Maybe certain time you always back your door like this, you don't always lock it. There are some of us that are not security conscious. And these are what the bad guys are leveraging on. That is just the truth. They know that there are some persons on the internet that will never prioritize the security of what they do. They know. So they follow you even on Facebook without you knowing that they are studying you. They know what you can fall into easily. They know the kind of things you post, so they will use it to monitor you and then go and create something that they will use to get your attention. So many things. So by implementing robust cybersecurity measures, you can significantly reduce the risks of cyber attack. That is exactly what we are talking about. So it's about implementing robust cybersecurity measures. like we are going to learn probably in the next class. We are going to look at the evolution of cybersecurity, where we will start studying different generation or stages that this program has come through, and the different technology, how they were ensuring security during their time, and the ones that are still spanning from the immediate one down to where we are and in the future. These are things we are going to look at, and all of them will take us to the practical on the window. All of them. Once we are done with their theoretical explanation, we look at how do we implement them, because that is what we are saying here. So if you don't know, if all you know is just this information, because yes, the information is just for general public consumption, for them to know that if somebody send me a link, I should access the link before I click. But you as an expert, you implement the security back end. You implement certain things that could curb this attack. You make system at the background to be difficult for these guys to what? To penetrate. That is what a company will engage you for. All right. So if you don't have any question, do you have any question? You don't have any?
Well, I don't really have question, but I just want to do a little contribution
Okay.
regarding to your training. Well, from my own little understanding now, I think those people that is thinking that cybersecurity is all about probably when you learn cybersecurity,
You become a bad guy.
you involve yourself into crime, or they start doing cyberbullying. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
I think most of them is already practice. It's already in the practice already. I think that is the major reason why their mind is going to that direction, because
they have
if
that
you are not
they have the though you may not really say, you may not conclude, because what you don't know it. It takes someone to educate you. That is why it is good for security awareness. If you go to developed country, even our country, if you watch some station, you see that there are now security awareness training going on, because people are reporting to EFCC every day. People are reporting to this government institution every day. And as they are reporting, they are also taking some steps that you and I may not be seeing. But because of the level of ignorance, because of the low technology that we have or that we have implemented, is the reason why it's not really touching around. I can tell you there are a whole lot of persons in this country that do not have WhatsApp, do not even have Android phone. So no matter the level of cyber security education, it doesn't get to some persons until they upgrade to certain device. But even with the average devices they are using, they are being attacked because they are not privileged to training like this that will have guided them, or that will have, given them education. So it is not, we cannot really say that people that are thinking like that, it is based on what you know. It's just like school today. People write jam and they choose program wrongly. Is it not happening? Somebody will just choose the wrong program and go to school for 5 years, waste his or her effort, and then come out and start saying that there is no job in society. You and I know that it is not everybody that can actually prove that right. There are some, when you ask them, what did you study? You find out that what they study has nothing to do with this generation, has nothing to do with even the next generation to come. So how are you going to get a job? Because the school themselves will make their money. Meanwhile, those courses can move in some other country. For example, agriculture. Agriculture, if you go to developed nation, is a very big business. But here now, because there they provide them all the logistics, the roads are good, the preservation system, everything. Not that the one that will cultivate banana now, maybe large volume, and then there's no preservative measure and everything will just rot in and all of that. So what we are saying is that it is the information available. I believe with time, they will get to know about this and change their mindset. Many of them, they are not aware. They are not educated on this. They are not aware at all. If you check very well now, you see that what? In some undeveloped nation, the rate of this cyber attack is decreasing, while in some is what? Increasing. Because the more people are aware, just like the way you are obtaining this training now, person like you will now be able to guide your left from right on the internet, having learned all the ways of the bad guys. So when you see something, you can easily tell that this is an attack trying to come in, so you will avoid it. But somebody who have not gone through the training, a lot of things that they'll fall into, like I was telling you, by the time we start learning that penetration testing, you will now understand that even the so-called Wi-Fi that you are carrying up and down, people can hack it easily if you don't do certain things, if you don't use strong password. That's why if you check all this MTN Wi-Fi, go and check that one that they normally write that you have to open. You will see that the code there, they are always very strong. You see some capital letter, some small letter, combined number, and some letter. Because somebody must have advised them while they were producing that Wi-Fi can be hacked. How did the person know? Because the person must have learned this and see the ways these boys break into Wi-Fi with very weak password. Even your bank, when they give you ATM, they will tell you that go and use strong password. And some will even advise you that you should not even use your name. Don't use the first letter, because those days, I don't know whether you experience it. Those days when they give us ATM, we were looking for, a password that we cannot easily forget. So if my name is Prosper, I will just say, okay, the first three letter, 1, 2, 3. But right now, the information has gone viral that I don't think people are still using that kind of system to password their either ATM or whatever. Even some there was a time that it was viral everywhere, people were using their date of birth. So, but now the information is out there. People are no longer, people have changed system. So that is what I can say to that. It's not because it's about orientation. That's why you see people that want to travel out, or when they eventually travel out, you see them getting more of this job out there, because there, most of their data, almost every business have data on the internet to protect. But here, many people do not even, from cash to cash, they don't have any online, they don't have website. So what are they going to prioritize the internet for? So it's with time. So I don't really want to be in the first class and others did not join. I don't want to. I just want to lay the foundation, and then I would like them to be in where we'll be talking about this, because this will lead us to practical. So we stop here, and then the next class we start with security evolution. We'll start taking them one after the other theoretically, look at the practical aspect. Take them one after the other, we'll look at the practical aspect. Hope you are with me.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
All right.
I'm getting you.
So we stop here. Let's go and
Okay.
I should be able to hear from them from next class. I know they will join. All right. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.